Good morning everybody, and for those of you who don't know me, new to the channel maybe, my name's Mark and I do stuff in my workshop, and I hope you'll be interested in what I'm going to show you. Okay, so let's crack on straight away.
The new technology is able to analyse subtle differences in blood flow which humans can't pick up. A former Tottenham captain Sloane says manager Thomas Frank is the right man to develop the current squad and lead them to more silverware. Frank's won his first 2 Premier League matches in charge and can make it 3 from 3 when they take on Bournemouth at home this afternoon. Madders, who's never mastered Spurs, is confident of a successful season.
There are 4 competitions, whether it be the competition that the manager feels we really want to win the Premier League, we want to win the Champions League next, and the FA Cup next, but they need that. But no matter what competition it is and how you put them, whatever you put them at, every single competition.
So I've increased the clearance angle just to make it easier to get the fold. It's a bit of a manual process, but I've just cut back that corner a little bit more. That's looking better. Put that clamp down. Get a bend in it. So, what are we looking at? I hear you say, Mark, what are we looking at? So this is my black line MIG welder. Nothing particularly special about it, apart from it is actually an excellent MIG welder. But it's what we're going to do today that's a bit different. So normally I use this for welding all sorts of stuff, mild steel. Today we're going to convert this over to weld stainless steel. Okay, so what's that going to involve? Well, the first thing is we're going to need to change gas. Now I'm just going to experiment with this. So I'm not going to go out and buy a big bottle at the moment. What I've done is I've purchased 2 non-refillable argon stroke CO2 mix. So for welding mild steel, I use just CO2. For TIG welding, I use pure argon. This is a mixture of the 2 for MIG welding stainless steel. I have purchased myself a new regulator that fits these bottles, and what we've got to do now is couple up this regulator to this welder. So as you can see, CO2 bottle, and under all of this electrical, that's where the gas comes from into the welder. So we've got to adapt this to fit onto this. So, better get cracking. Okay, so what I've done here is I've removed a small pipeway, sort of 4mm pipes, probably what mini MIGs use, and I've fitted this bigger fitting on there. So that'll screw onto the gas cylinder. And then what I'm thinking is either something like that fits into the original plastic pipe. Sorry, the pipe on the welder perhaps, maybe. Or that's too big. Do with some smaller couplers. Because they're all too big. Right, but that will fit. So maybe what I need to do is take it off the MIG and have a look and see what I'm doing there. Come with me. So let's just get some of these cables off here. So this is our MIG setup, and what I would really not want to do is mess about with this fitting, but I can take that off. So let's start there. 17, do I think? I think it might be. Yep. So what I'm hoping is if I take that off, and that hopefully will be the same thread and fit as that. Yes. Then a piece of, right, got it. Lovely. This is going well for a change. Back up on the bench for you. Right, I've got a cup full of hot water, plastic pipe in said hot water. See, what I want to be able to do is make this easily interchangeable. Because if this works, I'm probably going to use, do a lot more stainless welding. Okay. Okay, looking good. So I think if I cut that, I wouldn't normally cut pipe with cutters. You're always better off using a proper pipe cutter. Just gives a better edge. So then that will fit into here. That screws into my existing, that screws onto the cylinder. We are gassed. Excellent. Let's get it all built up. So first things first. 17, I'm guessing 14. Bigger. Let's go 15. Press fit. Yeah, that appears to work. I don't hear any big hisses. Right, so that's that part of it. So you're now going to see inside the MIG. This is the welding wire, and this is the device that meters the wiring. We're going to open that, just take this little bearing here that runs on that off. Then we're going to get our wire cutters and we're going to cut the end of that off. What we can now do is lay the torch out pretty straight and start to pull that wire through. Right, so after a whole load of grief, I've got it sorted. So we've got our reel on, and I've just started to thread through the whole thing through the mechanism. So we need to now secure that, secure that, and we're in a good place. Okay, so first thing we're going to do is feed the wire through. So I've got the gas shut off. I've already started the feed. We're just going to hopefully see the wire pop out the end. It's got a long journey though. Listening all the time to the feed, make sure it's not making any horrible noises. Now I'm going to stop it there. I'm going to just drop that off. Get a pair of pliers. I'm going to take this tip off because what I don't want it to do is hit the tip, not come through, and then it all gets a bit unhappy. Just going to check, make sure it is feeding. Yeah, it is quite slow. There you go. So there's my stainless steel wire. So that's all installed happily. The MIG wasn't complaining about any of that. So I think we're good. So now we can thread our tip back on, and I'm sure there's people who are going to say, no, you're not using a new tip. It's dirty. It's also dragging a bit, so before we go any further, yeah, maybe I should use a new one. Just because people will complain. Stick a tip foil through it.
Just run past and come out. Okay, Megan! Whoa! What are you doing?
So I think there is some dirt in this tip. Let's see how that feels. We might put a new one on, we might not. Yep, that feels a lot better now I've cleaned it. Perfect. So we'll trim that down. Put our shroud on. Shroud's never really sat very central on this tip ever since I've had this welder. Right, now normally for stainless steel, cleanliness is king. But I just want to get a feel for this, so I'm not actually going to be trying to do anything too spectacular, so I'm not going to bother cleaning it down. Let's check the mask, turn it on, give it a test. Yep, looking good. Faithful MIG glove. Right, let's do some welding. Huh. What have I forgotten? Gas. Right, let's do it. Oh, current way too high, but it's actually seems all right. We'll just drop this down. Right, let's try that again. Okay, it's a bit dirty, but what I'm seeing here is a really, really uniform, nice flat weld. I mean, I'm really happy with that. If I can weld two pieces of metal together like that, then this is going to be a big success. And I think attack that with a wire brush. Looks to have a little bit of porosity. I'm guessing that's the gas, so I'm going to put a bit more gas into this. One more attempt. I'm hoping I should hear a difference. just the dog's bollocks. Why the hell didn't I do this before? Right, so why have we been doing all of this? So this little fella is my battery box, and what I need to do is I need to tap some of this before I drive that corner in. So I'm just going to get some nice big tacks around here, and then we'll see where we go. So I'm a little bit worried welding on edge there rather than that was just welding on the flat. So there's always a risk of burn through. Let's see how we go. Yeah, I think this is going to work. Another one on this corner. Lovely. I've got a bit of burn through there. I'm going to turn the current down a bit more. So let's tap this corner. Right, so as you can see, block of wood on the floor. So what I need to do now is I've got to push that edge down, but there's a little bit of weld in that corner. I should have cleaned out before I started this. So I'm going to need to beat it over that. Nothing refined here. So I put that down on there, and I need to find a piece of wood. So that's too short. Right, I'm going to turn you off till I find a piece of wood. Right, I found a nice piece of oak. That'll be pretty hard and shouldn't break as I hit it. I have my club hammer. Ooh. And I'm going to make a lot of noise. So before we go any further, today I should be wearing these rather fetching pair of Pelter 3M's ear defenders. Yeah. Teep. Teep. Proper coffee. So as you can see, I've got the battery box clamped in the vise. I've dropped that in the frame and I've marked where the new top of the box is going to be. So the next thing, trusty cutter, let's get the waste cut off and then drop it back in and see where we go. So there we go, there's the battery box now fitted. And we've cut the angle here at the top to match the framework. I just need to move the mudguard back a bit, I think. Maybe not. But yeah, she's in place. So next thing will be brackets and to work out some kind of a top on top of it. Not quite sure what we'll do there. But I'm quite pleased with it. It's not looking too bad at all.